Dawn Approach arrived at Beachy Park in March of his yearling days. At that stage, he was being heralded as something special with regard to the other colts that we had that year. And that was the way it continued into the time when we started training him. But it was no great surprise then when we had him broken in riding that my staff were speaking of him in glowing terms. He never disappointed in his early work, and he was ready to go in March, so even though we felt that he was something special, we said sure, we'd let him off anyway, because along with being talented, at that stage he was a little bit cheeky as well, so we thought that the run would settle him down. That was precisely what happened. He matured into being a fairly professional racehorse after his first run.
Racing inside the last 200 yards now. Dawn Approach in front from Forrester. Cannery Road towards the outside. Dylan Baru putting in a late bid. But Dawn Approach and Kevin Manning will win the opening 2-year-old race for Jim Bolger.
So we went back to Naas with him then. He won his listed race there and he was pretty impressive there and the time was good.
Dawn Approach is stretching on to score by 3 lengths, makes it 3 out of 3 for Kevin Manning and Jim Bolger.
We had no hesitation then in entering him for Ascot and the Coventry Stakes.
Dawn Approach pressed on the far side by Cristoforo Colombo. Olympic glory between the pair, coming home strongly. Dawn Approach is hanging out in front but doing enough and will win the Coventry.
We felt after Ascot that he was ready to go the path of his sire, New Approach. We aimed him at the National Stakes then at the Curragh.
Dawn Approach and Kevin Manning, who come through the lead from Littermore. Designs and Rome is running on the near side, but it's going to be 5 out of 5 for Dawn Approach, running for the first time in the Godolphin Blue.
He was very much in the same sphere as his sire, New Approach.
On the rear as they race up towards the line, New Approach on the near side, a fast company, New Approach wins it.
And everything went well with him. He never took a lame step in his life, didn't get a shin, had no problems. He came out of the National Stakes at the Curragh very well, so there's only about 3 weeks between the two races, so it was just a matter of keeping him ticking over then for the Dewhurst. He came into the race in great shape.
Hot favourite Dawn Approach in the all-blue jacket for Godolphin, but stable companion Lettermore heads on into an early lead. From the Ferryman in the pink jacket. Vancouver thrusting down the outside, but Dawn Approach is a horse that always finds plenty under pressure. He challenges Lettermore. George Vancouver on the far side, and racing inside the final furlong is Dawn Approach, who's going to make it 6 from 6. The leading 2-year-old of 2012, Dawn Approach wins the Dewhurst.
In any case, they finished 1-2. He put up another really good display. After the Dewhurst, Dawn Approach was then champion European 2-year-old. It was incumbent on me then to produce him for the Guineas in the best possible shape and to give him a good chance of building on his very exciting 2-year-old career.
And away for this Kipco 2000 Guineas.
We were fairly happy going into the Guineas, but you can never be too sure. But in any case, he didn't disappoint. He had his same lead horse all the time, and we knew him to a T, so we knew exactly what we were doing with him.
The pacemakers are beginning to fold up, and it's left to the big 2 now. The white-faced Dawn Approach on the left, on the right in the grey jacket, Toronado. Out wide, Gloria Waits is sticking on, then Van der Neer as they race down into the dip. Dawn Approach from Toronado, and Dawn Approach is finding more as they race now inside the final furlong in the 2000 Guineas. Dawn Approach unbeaten, and he's going to win another one here for Sheikh Mohammed and Jim Bolger in the Godolphin colours. Dawn Approach by 4-5 lengths.
Dawn Approach has it all. He stays, and he has a turn of foot, and he has a great attitude. He is a superstar already. He was unbeaten in 6 starts. He has come here to Newmarket on his first start of his 3-year-old career, and Dawn Approach has trounced them.
We went for the St James's Palace, and there must have been more people than me who thought that he was in good shape because he started favourite for that. When he got the bump in the straight, I thought it was all over, but Kevin gathered him very quickly, and he's always a well-balanced horse, so he got back into his stride very quickly.
And Dawn Approach between them.
And when he was tackled then, a furlong down, he was very courageous, but he was never going to give it away.
Dawn Approach, the blue colours, very tight between them. They're going to hit the line very close. Dawn Approach and Toronado.
After Ascot then, we decided that we'd run in the Sussex Stakes, but I was concerned about the going, and I probably should have paid more attention to it. It was loose on top and he didn't handle it very well, and I blame myself for his defeat there. I'm expecting when he goes to stud that his career will again run at least parallel to that of New Approach as it did on the racetrack. It was always fairly obvious, apart from knowing that he was a son of New Approach, he had a lot of the traits that he had. The principal one would be courage, and his speed was equal to, if not superior to, that of New Approach. He probably, was a better miler than New Approach. I think he's going to be very easy to mate. Being 16-1 and being such a good looker and having the action that he has, I would expect that he would suit any type of mare. From the time that we saw him as a yearling, his action and his demeanour indicated that he was going to play a role in the best races. If he can produce yearlings like that and 2-year-olds, I've no doubt that he'll be heralded as a top sire very early in his career.